closest we got to Christmas was when Madea was at the department store because she was dressed.
Those were some funny scenes too. Those were some funny scenes too. But that's why I wasn't paying attention because those scenes were like very non-consequential. Like things just. It was just her ranting, like her like going off on a.
That was another thing where it's like just riff.
I'm listening, but like I'm not. I can't listen to this whole scene.
I bet you in the script Tyler Perry didn't even write Madea lines in that thing.
No, he was just I'll just the customer will show up and I'll just go off.
It was literally like in brackets Madea in a department. Hi, I'm Danielle.
And I'm Del.
And this is the Black Catch-Up, where we're catching up on iconic black media we missed out on in our more conservative religious childhood. So December started, so we're doing a bunch of holiday movies right now.
Yeah.
And we're starting it off with Tyler Perry's A Madea Christmas.
All right, so start off with kind of the IMDb summary.
Yes. Madea dispenses her unique form of holiday spirit on a rural town when she's coaxed into helping a friend pay her daughter a surprise visit in the country for Christmas.
Okay. All right, so start off with positives.
Yes.
I guess I'll go first.
Okay.
The first thing I really did like Madea in this movie. I thought she was really funny, and I thought the dynamic between her and the Connors parents, Larry the cable guy, and I don't know the lady's name, but
her character's name was Kim.
Okay, yeah, Kim and Buddy, I guess was the character's name.
Yeah.
I really liked their dynamic. I thought all the scenes with them were kind of fun. Just hearing them kind of go back and forth. I thought they definitely had some like good lines. So yeah, I thought they were like really funny, and we got a good amount of them too. So I was excited for that.
Speaking of Connor's parents, I just liked Connor's mom as a character in general. She seemed to be, to me, the most human character doing the most human things. And almost like, because we're going to get into this when we do the negatives, but a lot of this movie kind of just like jumps around to just doing different random things. Mm-hmm. Connor's mom, Kim, seemed to be the one who was doing the most like human things and having like human reactions and human feelings and not just like trying to manipulate people, I guess.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is that Layla's Lacey's mom did. Mom,
yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
I just liked her.
All right. Yeah, the other thing I had written down, I kind of like the general theme of like don't judge a book by its cover that the movie kind of pushed.
Okay.
I thought it was actually done like not well in the scenes, but I thought the lines in which people kind of like, you know, when characters had that moment, I thought those specific scenes were pretty good. But like the scene with like the little boy kind of confronting his father about getting bullied in class, like I thought that was a pretty good scene. And then I think the mother, when the two moms had their big blowout, like I thought that was another pretty good scene as well.
The only other thing I have was when all the characters were kind of talking about Eileen after she saves Connor's rival Chad Michael Murray when she saves him with the car, and she's still like butthurt and pissy that Connor like yelled at her or whatever, and all the characters are just like sitting around the table like kind of going off on her. I don't know. I just thought that was just an amusing scene to me.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that was all I had for this one.
All right.
You want to start with the negatives?
With the negatives. Okay. Let's see. I didn't like the central conflict in this movie. And I say central as a broad thing because like most Tyler Perry movies, this could have been two separate movies. Mm-hmm. But I didn't like the central conflict of like Lacey pretending that Connor was the farmhand instead of her husband. Yeah. And I think the reason I didn't like it was because it was so obvious he wasn't the farmhand. Yeah. And I don't like it when it's kind of like insulting my intelligence how the characters aren't seeing something that's so obvious. Like, they didn't hide it that well, and Lacey would, like, pause and do all this other stuff, like, that made it really obvious that, like, Connor was more to her than just the farmhand. And I was like, why isn't she not just telling her? Like, I get your mom's overbearing, but at this point, you keeping the secret looks stupid on everybody's part. Like, you kind of just need to tell her. So I didn't like the central conflict.
Yeah, and I had the same thing. Like, the whole plot line was just very tired. I'm like, you're grown. Like, why are you lying to your mother about... And you're, like, married. It wasn't even like they were just dating or she just moved in with him.
Married.
Like, you're married. There was like just a string of lies that she had told. So I thought the whole plot was just kind of, it just felt very tired early on. Yeah. And like you mentioned, like they weren't hiding it. I didn't think they were hiding it either. Like I thought that was very obvious. Yeah. But at the same time, they had no on-screen chemistry. Like I don't even think they kissed each other for the whole movie. Like it was weird. Like even when the parents weren't around, like they just had no chemistry. I was like, this is odd.
There was like maybe 1 or 2 scenes when it was just them together, and I was like.
But even in them, like there was a scene toward the end where it was just 2, and they were kind of just arguing.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, like I don't remember them touching because I was like kind of confused on who he was. I was like, are they dating? Are they dating? And then when it came out, they were married. I was like, whoa! Like I saw like the flirty like eyes, the flirty glances, but like they're married. You know, like I would have expected a little more, anything. You know,
yeah. But, so it's like they were obvious, but it was like the chemistry.
It almost seemed like they were like hiding from no one too. Like even when no one was around, they were still hiding their love for each other. It was just really weird.
It was just so dry. I don't know.
Yeah. I think that's kind of the same. I guess that's a different point. That is the point I had.
Okay. Do you have another point?
Yeah, I have a couple. Things.
Okay.
Yeah, you have more too.
Is it your turn or my turn?
I mean, I feel like I'll give another because I feel like I kind of gave the same point you gave. But the other one I had was I thought like I mentioned I liked the scenes with Madea and Larry the Cable Guy that I thought they were funny, but I thought they like drew out a lot of scenes way too long.
I said that too.
There were a lot of times where like they just let Madea riff and like she would riff for like just way too long, way too long, and so the scene's just like it was like haha funny scene, and it was like okay the scene's still going, the scene's still going, so yeah there's just a lot of like drawn out scenes.
Yeah,
like that.
I got that too. I said that too. I said that especially when Madea and Larry the Cable Guy were together. I was like sometimes that was just
like
a little too much
funny,
for me.
but like just
it went on for too long. Okay, I guess I'll do this point then. I briefly mentioned the fact that this was 2 movies jammed together, and for that reason, it kind of made it hard to concentrate. Just because it was 2 separate movies. The whole farmhand facade, whatever they were trying to keep up there, and then the whole separate kid in the Christmas Jubilee thing, that seemed like it was going to be the central conflict, but then it quickly took a back seat. And just like every time they went back to it, I was like, who, what, why?
Yeah.
It was just... This film needed more focus, and I feel as though if they either focused on the farmhand thing or the Kid Jubilee, it would have been more successful. But because they kind of like split focus, it just was a miss.
I think both plot lines were like very just thin and dry. Like even the kid, like there were a lot of things with the kid that kind of came out of nowhere. Like all of a sudden he was a good singer, supposedly.
Yeah, she wasn't.
He got good grades, but like got bullied. Like apparently everyone in the class hated him. Like. Everyone.
I feel so at that point you need to talk to the principal too.
Yeah, but there's just a lot going on with that with both plot lines. Like we already mentioned the whole thing with her and her husband not claiming each other was just odd. But the kid thing was just like there's just a lot of like not unnecessary things, but just things that weren't really explained.
It didn't make
things that kind of just happened.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. The next thing I have was the timeline really threw me off, and
yeah.
I don't like. Normally, I don't like to... Maybe I do like to complain about timelines. I do like to complain about timelines, but this one was, like, really bad, you know? Because I was watching the movie, and, like, so much was happening, like, her parents came, then the boyfriend's... Then the husband's parents came, and then they got into the conflict. Then she signed the thing with the sponsorship with her ex-boyfriend. And then the whole town formed against her, and she got fired from her job. But then, like, come to find out, this all happened in, like, the span of, like, 36 hours. You know?
This was, like, a weekend.
Like, a lot happened, you know, because it seems like the whole movie took place, like, pretty much Christmas Eve, almost. Like,
yeah, it took place, like, more or less the day before Christmas Eve and Christmas Eve.
Yeah, because it seems like both parents pulled up, like, Christmas Eve at the same time.
Yeah.
The mom came unannounced,
but
like, the guy's family was announced. But they kind of just came, like, very much at the same time, and then everything in the movie happened. The scene you missed was her getting fired. Yeah. That scene was wild. Like, when I tell you, that scene caught me all the way out. I don't know what happened
I think I went to get, like, water or something.
Well, all I know is, like, I guess I wasn't paying attention too much, but she was in, like, the principal's office of the school, and they were talking to her, like, about the thing about the taking Christ out of the Christmas play, right?
Yes.
The whole town was mad. So the whole town was there with the mayor. And the mayor was like, yeah, you can call the sponsorship. I already tried. And so she calls the ex-boyfriend, and he's like, yeah, there's nothing I can do. Sorry. Then the Tanner guy who was angry comes in and starts complaining about her signing the contract because of the construction company they had that built the dam that blocked off water in the town. Yeah. So now you have the townspeople mad at her because of the Christ thing in the thing. And then you have this group, the group of Tanner and his homeboys in the camo coming for her about the dam and the construction company. And then the guy Tanner goes, Mayor, you gotta fire her. And the mayor goes, all right, you're fired. And then she walks back. That's what I was thinking. But then it gets worse. Then she walks back into her classroom. I didn't realize like this was mid-class. So she's like fully teaching a class. I guess she just left her classroom unattended. She walks back in and just starts packing up her stuff. And then the little boy starts crying in front of the whole class and is like, why are you leaving? She's like, they don't want me here anymore. They fired me. But it just, like, and again, like, this was just all happening in one day. And so I was, like, so thrown off that, like, she literally, like, lost her job in one day by the mayor, who, first of all, shouldn't even have been able to fire her, let alone that quickly. And then she had to, like, and this was, like, her teaching, mid-lesson. So she walks back into class and just packs up and goes home. And I was like, whoa. Not to mention, after that, that's when that car accident happened.
She packs up and goes home, and then that's when, her mom and Connor's
exactly. That's when they're flipping out. Yep.
Wow.
And then meanwhile, Tanner's into a car accident. No, Tanner just got home and finished yelling at his son. Yeah. Because his son was like, "Why'd you fire our teacher?" Then he gets into a car accident. Then the mom flips out, leaves the house, finds the car accident, pulls him out of a car right before the explosion. And then. Yeah, man, just a lot happened. What happened after the explosion? Then they save him. The other guy comes out of nowhere and punches him in the face. He goes down. The next thing you know, Tanner and his wife are bringing an unwrapped pie to the main girl's house. Yeah. So that was the movie.
No, but then they have the Christmas Jubilee, and then...
Oh, yeah, then little kid sings.
The little kid sings, and for some reason, Lacey gets to announce things, even though she was definitely fired.
Yeah, no, Lacey gets her job back that same night, too. Lacey gets her job back the same night.
But they don't explain how.
Yeah, so the timeline was rough. It was rough for me. A lot happened in a very short period of time.
Okay, I will say... Another thing that I think messed up the timeline was the fact that a few scenes happened multiple times.
Oh, yeah, they did like a flashback randomly in the middle. Yeah, they started flashing back, and I was like, I've definitely seen this.
So, the scene where Lacey's talking to Bailey about singing in the Christmas concert, that happens twice.
Okay, yeah.
For some reason. Does. The scene where Connor and his dad are going to go confront Tanner, or whoever that guy is, that definitely happened. You didn't notice that it happened twice, but no, that happened twice.
Scenes,
I don't know why. And then there was the other scene where Tanner was talking to his friend about something, about like going to mad at Lacey or whatever. That happens twice. Yeah. So I think that might have contributed to the messy timeline, because things were happening twice.
I didn't know why. And like it almost seemed like a mistake in editing. Like
I don't know. But I was like, because the scene where Connor and his dad go into the car, that happened like pretty early in the movie. And I was like, what? Yeah. Why is it happening again? Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Those parts were kind of strange.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Anything else you didn't like? Do I have anything else?
I don't think I have anything else.
Yeah, I think that was pretty much it. I think I kind of ranted on this one.
Yeah.
Ratings. Right? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, for me, this one was a 2.5. Like, I don't know. I thought it was funny, I guess. And I think we watched one of Tyler Perry's movies, the first one, Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Yes. And one thing I liked was Madea in the movie. Yes. And she got a lot more shine. So between her and Larry the Cable Guy, I actually found myself laughing a lot during this movie. The plot was garbage, but I think that almost helped, because I feel like I really didn't have to pay attention. Like, especially with those scenes that were drawn out, you can kind of tune in for a scene, then walk away and not really miss anything. So,
well, the one time I missed the whole firing scene.
Oh yeah, no, you missed that whole scene.
So
you
missed that whole can't part. Walk away.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like it was pretty lighthearted. Like there was a lot going on, but like it just happened so quickly. There was no time to like feel the stress and like pressures of it. You know.
Okay.
So it was just kind of like a pretty fun watch, I guess.
I give this a 2 out of 5. For some reason, this felt long to me, even though it wasn't even. It was like a little over an hour and a half, because it's 100 minutes.
Yeah, it didn't need to be an hour. They could have cut it hour 25, hour 20.
Also, they could have cut out the double scenes.
Yeah, those double scenes could have been cut. The whole car explosion probably could have been cut too.
That didn't need to happen. But just like I just didn't like the conflict was just so annoying to me. Just like. It was super thin. It was super obvious. It didn't make sense why she was keeping it a secret. Yeah. And then plus having the extra like Christmas whatever thing on top of that was just like we had 2 unsuccessful plots, and I didn't like that. Yeah. Also, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Aside from the Jubilee, this movie didn't Christmas that hard.
No, it didn't.
Like it was very not Christmassy.
Yeah.
Which made it worse, I think. Like, I was kind of excited. Like, okay, our first Christmas movie. We'll kind of get into the spirit early. No, there was really none of it in there. Like, the one thing they had Christmas was the tree, but they kind of like shot that down because it was like the tree of her dead grandfather.
Yeah.
So, like, you didn't really get those like Christmas jolly vibes, you know?
Yeah, and they couldn't decorate it because
So.
All right.
Final question: do you wish you saw A Madea Christmas sooner?
No, like it's okay that I saw it now. I also, this is one that I don't want to see it again, but I kind of have to see it again just to see that firing scene.
Oh, yeah.
Because I doubt they have the firing scene just like as a scene on YouTube or anything.
No, they might.
They probably will.
Because I feel like you can find any scene on YouTube if you really search. But like,
but I feel as though I might need to watch this just one more time, and after that, I'm done.
No, they called her out of class. The whole town was in this office. The mayor was there. Like, the mayor's there now. She was like, "Oh, I'll just call him." She was like, "The mayor's here now, though." And then she was like, "Oh," leaves her classroom, gets fired, comes back, packs up. I was like,
I don't think that's how you fire teachers.
Why the mayor fired her? Like, the mayor, and the town was just like, "You got to get her out of here." Like, she got this sponsorship for $10,000. He's like, "Oh, we already spent the money. You got to get fired."
Kind of didn't make sense. Well, just because they kept saying sponsorship, and I didn't understand.
I think what Tyler Perry wanted to get across was the ex-boyfriend was doing a favor to try to get in on her good side.
That's what he was trying to get across. That's but all you know what didn't happen? That ex-boyfriend anywhere else.
Yeah,
he like showed up once in the beginning, and then he disappeared. Let all the other shenanigans happen. Then he shows up at the end and finds out she's married. He was like, "Oh."
But again, though. This movie's over like 2 days, so he wasn't gone that long. He was probably only gone for like 4 hours.
That's true.
In movie time, that was the whole movie. So.
Yeah.
All right. I do not wish I saw this movie. Let's just get that out of the way. All right. You do housekeeping. Like, comment, subscribe.
Ring the bell if you want notifications. Leave a comment down below with any suggestions. We do music and TV on Sundays, and on Tuesdays and Fridays we do movies. All of our socials will be linked in the description down below, and we'll see you next time to catch up. Bye! I kind of do want to see it just one more. I don't need to see it multiple times. Just maybe one more time. Just for that. Just because I missed the firing scene, and that seemed like this movie. I couldn't focus on it because there were too many plots that didn't. No, there was nothing to
focus on. But then once that scene happened, like it felt like everything just crashed at once. Because like you had her getting fired because of the sponsorship and the Jubilee play. Then you had the whole damn thing coming in with the construction company. Then you had the boyfriend getting called, her trying to plead with him. But at the same time, you had the boy was crying because he lost his teacher. So like literally everything, like that was literally the climax and just. Whew.
So that's why I feel like I need to see it just one more time. Just because
so much. It was a quick 3-minute scene.
And it didn't even feel like I was gone that long. I just
you weren't.
I went to either like get water or like Cheez-Its or something like that.
Because you might have walked up to the fridge like when she got in the room with them. And then like literally 2 phone calls later, she's fired. The other guy storms in. And then the other guy, he like did this real creepy thing where he like got into the mayor's face and was like, "You better fire her." And I was like, whoa, like that's the mayor. Why are you just threatening him? And then the mayor's like, "You're fired."
Because that's how mayors work.
And then like I'm pretty sure they show like the whole walk of shame of her back to her classroom.
I think I came back and saw her in the classroom talking to that crying kid. She goes to the classroom.
She didn't even say it. She goes to her desk and just starts packing up. And I'm like, they didn't let you finish the day, like anything.